Generation Z are now starting to enter the workforce. So what are they bringing to the table? Here to tell us is Nuwanthie Samarakone from ICE. Good morning.
Good morning, Hayley.
So how do Gen Z view work differently?
For them, it's all about the purpose. They see value, they see brand, but they also want that alignment in terms of vision as well. And they do want a lot of flexibility, which is going to be an interesting challenge for organisations, looking at what that looks like for them as well. But on the whole, it's more about that level of autonomy, but aligned with vision and values.
Now, just to put the information out there, that Gen Z were born in like 1995,
Yep.
so the oldest of them will be about 23 right now. They're entering the workforce, and they had a digital childhood. They're digital natives.
Yes.
So what can we learn from them?
Everything's instant. Everything's about the number of likes, the number of opportunities that they've got in terms of being online and having that instant gratification as well. So one of the things we are seeing with them is the need to be able to give them constant feedback, constant encouragement, constant encouragement in terms of what they aspire to be and aspire to want to be as well. They are very driven and purposeful, and as a result of that, one of the things we can learn from them is knowing that autonomy is key in their world, but also being able to flex in and out and be open to new opportunities.
It sounds a little bit like they're coming into the workforce and they're sort of demanding that it fits around them.
There is a bit of that, absolutely. And I mean, us millennials thought we were the bee's knees at one point and that we demanded that as well. And now suddenly we're being asked to step aside and let this new generation come through. I've got a few of these individuals working for me in my own team, and I just know how challenging it can be, but also how open-minded you could be from an employer's perspective and see what they could bring to the table. Personally, what I love about it is their keenness to just get things going and give things a go as well, and bring in a level of fresh thinking that's not just tech and digital, but more about purpose and values, that organisations can start to realign and rethink about what is it that you actually do and why.
Will organisations have to sort of change the way the traditional work day is set out? Do you think so? 9 to 5 is maybe old news?
A component of it, yes, and a lot of these Gen Zs also love working on their own projects in their own time, so freelancing, doing some hobby projects on the side. So there is the whole 9 to 5 flexibility thing in terms of time, but also the other things, location and proximity. So do they want to be in the office, in-house, having the whole food tables and beanbags concept that used to be there about 5 years ago? Not anymore. For them, it's about working from home in their pyjamas and being able to connect online using technology and having a system and process in place to be able to communicate with their managers. So there is that too, as part of that level of flexibility, which is not just the whole 9 to 5 aspect too.
So we hear a lot about the gig economy, and it sounds like Gen Z are going to be the ones to bring it in. Can you just tell us what the gig economy is?
So in essence, it's basically working on various different projects at various different times, having that level of flexibility, not just in one market. It could be that you work across different markets as well, and across different projects and different brands at any given point.
Well, it sounds great, and that is probably the way of the future, but right now we are in the now. How should Gen Z prepare themselves to get into the workforce?
What they need to understand is that employers are also grappling with this whole concept themselves and working through their own systems and processes. We know, and they need to understand too, that by 2030, some of the jobs and opportunities that exist today will not even exist at that point. So how they prepare for that workforce is about keeping an open mind, understanding that employers are on that same journey from the other side of the table, but also knowing too that the world of work is evolving with technology and automation, the whole disruption of the digital workforce in essence, alongside proximity and location. But the other component too that they need to consider is employers are trying to work out too, and this is something we do a lot of, is what sort of skill sets are going to be needed for the next 2 to 3 years. That's going to be absolutely critical, that are rare and scarce, hard to build and expensive to buy.
Wow. Thank you for your time this morning, Nuwanthie Samarakone.
Thank you, Hayley. Thank you.
That's breakfast for today. We are back a popo from 6 o'clock. Till then, hey, ko neira.
Ka kite.